told investigators that he intended to kill people. The attack happened at lunchtime in a crowded district where electronics and games are sold. It also fell on the 7th anniversary of another mass stabbing. At least 17 ambulances rushed to the scene to tend to the victims. Once rare, stabbing attacks have become more frequent in Japan in recent years as violent crime has increased.
Japan has some of the most bizarre cases that there is. One in particular happened June 8, 2008, when Tomohiro Kato drove into a crowd with a truck. What pushed him over the edge? Kato has seemingly come from a good home, growing up in the suburbs. However, not everything was as perfect as it appeared. Initially, Kato was an exceptional student in elementary school. There, he was a top track athlete. When he entered junior high, he became the president of the tennis club. But Kato's grades began to fall. He ranked number 300 out of 360 students. He began lashing out at his parents. According to his brother, Kato and his parents didn't get along. His parents put a tremendous amount of pressure on the brothers to perform and excel in their studies. They were made to redo their homework to the highest standards to impress their teachers. Kato's brother recalls an incident where Kato was ordered to eat scraps of food from the floor as punishment. A neighbor said that Kato was ordered to stand outside for hours in the deep, cold snow during the winter. Before Kato's attack, he criticized his childhood on social media. He felt like his family gave up on him. Depression and other factors drove Kato deeply into debt. Kato was becoming more suicidal as the days went on. Kato accused the people at his job of hiding his work clothes. He stormed out of the building immediately in a rage. He also believed he was going to lose his job, but this wasn't the case. Kato posted a series of messages from his phone to a website called Extreme Exchange Revised. This revealed just how suicidal he had become. His first message read, "I will kill people in Akihabara." Other messages said, "If only I had a girlfriend, I wouldn't have to quit work. I would have never become addicted to my mobile phone. Anybody with hope couldn't possibly understand how I feel. I don't have a single friend and I won't in the future. I'll be ignored because I'm ugly. I'm lower than trash because at least trash gets recycled." This message was titled "A Stabbing Spree in Chichura." His plan was to crash his vehicle into a crowd. He would then use a knife to attack on foot. Kato attempted suicide in 2006 by ramming into a wall, but obviously he was unsuccessful. On June 8, 2008, Kato executed his plan. At 12:33 p.m., he rented a truck and drove it into a crowd at the crossing of the Akihabara streets in Tokyo. During this time, there was a routine where traffic was closed on Sundays to allow pedestrians to shop. Knowing this, Kato knew that there would be many people gathered on this day. Kato ran a red light and struck 5 people with his truck. As Good Samaritans gathered to aid the victims, Kato stabbed at least 12 people with a dagger while screaming. 7 of those victims were killed. Kato attempted to escape, but was eventually cornered by police. Officers pointed a gun at him and he dropped his weapon. Kato was arrested for the attack, and on June 10th, he was sent to the prosecutor's office. He was held on suspicion of murder and demanded to undergo a psychiatric test. Investigators discovered just how calculated this attack was. Kato erased all his contacts and communication records from his cell phone. He was quoted saying he didn't want to annoy those around him. He also claimed that he posted those messages online as a cry for help. He claims he hoped the police would notice and stop him. 2 days before the attack, he reportedly purchased leather gloves and a telescopic baton at a military store. He was captured on CCTV practicing stabbing motions while speaking to a salesman. He also sold his computer and software to purchase the truck rental. During his trial, prosecutors argued that his self-confidence had plummeted after a woman he was talking to abruptly stopped emailing him after he sent her a photo of himself. Kato offered remorse for the attack, even writing a 56-year-old man whom he injured in the attack. On March 24, 2011, Kato was sentenced to death for his attacks. However, The Supreme Court upheld the death penalty on February 2, 2015, but ultimately, his death sentence was finalized. On July 26, 2022, Kato was executed by hanging at the Tokyo Detention Center. The massacre left long-lasting effects nationwide. The 35-year-old practice of closing the streets on Sunday and holidays were canceled due to the attack. Kato's parents issued a public apology on behalf of their son. As of 2010, Kato's father resigned from his job and was living in seclusion. Kato's mother ended up in a mental health institution. His brother committed suicide April of 2014 at just 28 years old. He stated he was unable to live with the scars and shame resulting from the attack. Japan is one of the few countries to retain the death penalty. Japan has executed 718 people since the end of World War II in 1945. On the 10-year anniversary of the attack, many gathered to mourn the loss of the victims.